Hi there, welcome to episode 10. Can you believe we're here already? Today I want to talk about something that, a lot of us with mental illness struggle with. That's things like Facebook, social media, and how our mental illness can play out on that. And if you're a provider like myself, you can really struggle with that. Like, are you open about your mental illness on social media? Because, what if a patient looks you up? They're going to find out things. They're going to see you on Twitter tweeting. They're going to find your Instagram potentially. They're going to, depending upon your Facebook settings, see your Facebook profile. Or if you're a blogger, find your blog. So it's important to talk about that aspect. So, Facebook or social media use in general brings out the good, the bad, the ugly in all of us. When one throws mental illness into the mix, obviously it can be calming at times, but sometimes it can be incredibly triggering. As someone with bipolar 1 disorder, there's reasons why I like it. I have a good family, none of whom really live nearby, but it often provides me with a chance to see what's going on without picking up the dreaded phone, because we all know how I've discussed before that I hate it. Sure, the phone's in my hand as I'm scrolling through the news feed, but that's just a detail. 2, I have severe phone anxiety, so the idea of calling to order pizza can send my heart rate soaring over like 200. But, reasonably to expect me to have an actual phone conversation just because we share DNA? No, not happening. The same could be said for my friends. It's a useful tool to reconnect with people you remember. Friends are friendships. They're renewed. They're revived. We all grew up. For folks like me who come from a small, close-knit community, it's nice to see how people are doing. Hell, most of us even got better looking with age. I mean, look at me. What's the saying about women and fine wines? Exactly. But let's face it, we all produce adorable children who may or may not always behave adorably, but they sure do say some hilarious things. And isn't that what Facebook's for, to share those adorable things? But there's cat videos, movie trailers, thoughtful debate, divisive debate, conversations it provokes privately in our homes, the friendships it renews, dog videos. Oh, for the love of pugs. But lastly, the awe-inspiring community of like-minded advocates that I've come to grow and who support me and I support them. We're all on different journeys and came together through various paths, but we have one common goal: better care for the serious mentally ill. Reasons why I don't like it. Everyone loves a good, funny meme to chuckle over, but why not? We need more laughter in such a serious world, especially in today's political climate. But my sense of humor is just as good as the next person's. However, what I do not enjoy is a proliferation of mental illness-themed memes that are meant to provoke laughter and merriment at the expense of an actual illness a person suffers with. We are battling our minds on a daily basis. People do not post memes inciting laughs and teasing those who suffer from physical ailments. I mean, could you imagine the outrage if you saw someone for childhood cancer or cancer in general or Parkinson's or ALS? I don't always want to be the heavy here. I really don't. I don't relish in pointing out insensitivities constantly simply because I made a conscious choice to be open with my diagnosis, protecting the many, many confidences that have been entrusted in me since I went public. But I will, because this is a privilege of one of the highest honors people could give me, entrusting me with the things that they've chosen to share. But the math is simple. 1 in 4 adults has a diagnosable mental disorder in their lifetime. 1 in 4. So if Anne, say, has 640 Facebook friends, that means 160 would carry a diagnosis. If Bob has 200 Facebook friends, 50 would. Look around the room you're in. Can you even tell who has or has not been given a diagnosis? No, of course not. And no one will trust you enough to tell you either. As a support system, if you're making fun of their illness publicly on social media, especially without their permission, if you're not even referring to them. Yes, humor is needed to get through the dark days. We all need a good laugh. Heck, I like a good laugh. It helps me. My husband and I are known sometimes to make horrible jokes about my bipolar disorder to get each other through hard times, but it stays private and it stays between us, the two of us. There are a couple memes I want to call your attention to. Hello, mental hospital. I would like to reserve a family suite. When I put my patient hat on, I just don't see how one willingly goes to the hospital unless they know that their situation is so dire they will not turn around without hospitalization. Typically, admission occurs with an individual frightened, in tears, feeling that they're going to die unless they go. Patients genuinely feel backed into a corner and completely out of options. They feel that all their medications have failed them. Some people are involuntarily admitted for concerns of safety and harm, be it to themselves or others. In my case, each and every time I went, the only reason I signed paperwork for voluntary admission was because I was told it was better for me that way. I never wanted to go, not once. Not once of my 5 admissions. The last admission I had, no. Second to last admission I had, the paperwork in my hospital chart stated if I tried to leave hospital grounds, the police were going to be called and I was going to be barred from leaving and committed involuntary. So much for the voluntary paperwork I signed. Here's another one that pisses me off. Being popular on Facebook is like sitting at the cool table in a mental hospital. Are you kidding me? There's no cool table at the cafeteria. There's tables, period. People find a seat, they eat, they leave. Conversations at a minimum. You might trade muffins. You might barter for cigarettes if you smoke. You might talk meds if you're feeling really feisty and got some caffeine in your coffee that day. But at the end of the day, you're in a psychiatric facility, and what is there to discuss? The one I take the most offense to tried to gain traction as a game on Facebook. I found it so triggering, I defriended many people over this. You ready? You're in a mental hospital. Use the first 7 people on your list in order. No cheating. Your roommate, person licking windows, person helping you escape, the doctor, person running around naked, person yelling nonsense, person you went crazy with, and then put a clean copy for someone else to fill out in the comments. Here's an accurate picture of how this rolls out. Your roommate. Your roommate is probably up all night crying with the sitter at their side because they attempted suicide and wound up in the psychiatric hospital instead. They're frightened to death to be there. You can't tell if it's their first hospitalization or their 5th. They're most frightened that they're still alive, and the tears you hear all night of a soul who is in deep, deep, deep pain. Person licking windows is in such severe psychosis it makes you uncomfortable. You wonder why no one is doing anything to break the psychotic state, or is his or her mind irreparably broken at that point? You begin to cry yourself. The person helping you escape, they're not helping you escape. They're telling you everything that they think that you should know because 1, they want you to think that they're the alpha of the unit, and 2, all the things that they tell you to the doctors on rounds have absolutely nothing to do with you or your case. The doctor is a person who shows up for 5 minutes a day, asks how many groups you went to, increases your off-unit privileges based on the answer, also asks you about 5 or 6 questions to determine discharge readiness and medications, never answers family phone calls, and punts them to the social worker that avoids you. Person running around naked. Yeah, this might make for great cinema. However, with 5, I lose track. 5 hospitalizations and counting have yet to see this. We wear our street clothes to avoid feeling completely marginalized. The most accurate picture would be the person who wore the same outfit for the most days in a row. See also psychosis because the unit washing machine is bugged and contaminates the clothing. Person yelling nonsense. This could be anyone. This could be from the meals being delivered late constantly when it's all anyone has to look forward to. It could be because no one showed up to visit again and you've been there for 3 weeks. It could be because the same 3 patients monopolize the one phone on the unit and you never get a chance to talk to your family. It could be because you were sick of having to do the same kitten puzzle every day from the 1980s as an activity. Maybe 5 days into your stay, the 6th day, your ponytail is suddenly deemed a safety hazard after 5 days of a non-issue. Maybe you just want a nurse to listen to you and not push medications all the time. Person you went crazy with. What in the Sam Hill is that even supposed to mean? Someone went crazy with me on purpose and got admitted with me on purpose? Now I know this inventor of that little game is an asshole. Pardon me. I believe we can all agree we've been properly educated in, and she'll think the humor and the memes through a little more. After all, me personally, I have the best weapon. My husband's a graphic designer, and I am not afraid to use him. He's also a professional photographer, and I bet he can come up with some pretty powerful memes when I ask him to, but I don't. But the point is, use social media responsibly. Don't use it to marginalize an already incredibly marginalized population. Lord knows we don't need it anymore. We need people who are looking out for us, who want to see us do well. Go pick on something else for a while. Go pick on the politics that are going on. God knows there's enough fodder for funniness there. Go have your Jimmy Kimmel moment, for God's sake. That's all I have for today. As always, this is Anne, Bipolar and Me. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Thank you.